Hey everybody, I'm here at the Angler 8 booth, ICAST 2021 with Brian. And of course, we've got, this caught my eye, you know what I'm saying, this first aid stuff. I'm all about safety. Fishermen, we have to be these days. We're out there by ourselves doing who knows what and who knows where, you know, really. So self-rescue, man, that I think for a long time, us fishermen, we've neglected self-rescue. You know, we're just out there and we'll deal with it because we're tough. But I think being prepared is better than not being prepared. I think you guys believe that as well too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's why we created the brand. No one was out there doing it, and we knew that somebody had to do it. It's kind of, everyone's got one of these boxes on the boat, but no one thinks through it all the way. So we said, hey, we'll kind of put ourselves in that slot and try and learn from some of the best anglers out there what they're putting in their box. Because this is so much more than just a first aid kit.
Right. And by the time you need something in that box, you haven't seen it for so long, and it's usually not a dry box or something. So by the time you get to your supplies, they're like halfway destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, especially first aid kits, you buy them in the store. Just the humidity in Florida will kill a first aid kit. So we, you know, one of the essential things that a kit had to do, it had to seal and it had to float. And this kit, you know, we've never weighed them, but I can tell you that this thing did not float when we first built it. We actually had to have an engineer come in and build a box. This is our Pro Essentials kit, so this is our biggest kit. And they put an air pocket here, and that's what allows this thing to float. So all three kits float, they all seal up. But more importantly, you know, what's in the boxes is essential. You know, I mean, down to just our first aid kit, most waterproof bandages do not work. We went through a number of different Band-Aids before we put our name on it. And these things, Gary and I actually tested them for 3 days. We had to cut them off. We couldn't get the bandage off. So these are not that's not stuff that you can buy in the store. Our Angler Aid spray, this covers so many things that you find in other first aid kits, but it's a premium first aid product. This is great for hook cuts, dry skin, bass thumb, you know, sunburns, wind burns. It works on plant saps and oils. It works on bug bites, bee stings. So this is kind of replaces, I say, you know, our big kit's got 101 items in it. This one product will do 1,001 different things.
Okay, very nice. And I see you have them kind of segmented out here. This is the smallest, the most basic kit right now.
It is, yeah.
And as we're kind of moving here, I'm starting to see some things I've never seen in a first aid kit before. You know, like some fuses and things like that. Fuses, so tell us a little bit about this one.
You know, just so when we get up into the safety kit, is what we call this one, we get into first aid items that go way beyond that, right? Things that are going to happen when people are boating. So we're talking motor boats here, but you know, fuse blows, you got a fuse on here. You know, hose comes off, you got hose clamps or wire ties. You know, you forget your sunscreen, you got some backup sunscreen in here, you got a tourniquet if there's something major that happens. Paracord, you know, we lose an anchor rope or something like that, you got paracord in there. You forget something to measure your fish. I mean, so
it seems like you guys have been through some stuff to be able to put something like this together.
And I tell you what, we got feedback from so many top anglers out there. Probably the most important thing is just having a little piece of braid. This doesn't cost much money, but people forget to put this or have it already cut and ready to remove a hook.
Right. Very nice. And so as we get into, so 1, 2, and then is this our biggest box right here?
This is our biggest box, right. So we got this hands of the top 40 anglers out there. This is what they came up with. And just little things like they said in our prototype, this was a weenie flashlight is what they said. So they wanted a torch. Well, a torch is expensive, right? This thing is a spotlight, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but we fit 550 lumens into a little flashlight. So this thing also has safety features. It'll SOS, it'll strobe. So if you're stranded out in a boat in the middle of the water in the middle of the night,
there it is.
You're strobing, and if you can see this in halogen lights,
we can.
Then obviously you can imagine at night on the water, you're going to be able to really see it. So really thought through a lot of the items. They had a number of different tools in there. Obviously a good set of pliers. So we had these custom built with all the different things that you would want on it, and the pliers had to be able to cut a barb.
So they're not going to bend the barb. It's going to actually cut the barb.
It's going to cut right through it, and it's not going to destroy your multi-tool when you do it. So this is a heavy duty. You'd probably pay $30 or $40 just for this multi-tool. And this is going to come in our Pro Kit and our Safety Kit.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Well, man, it looks like you guys have a lot of things really well thought out here. That's what caught my eye about this thing, especially the waterproof box. The fact that it floats, you know what I'm saying? When you need it, the stuff in there is there for you, and it's actually ready to be used. And so, guys, you watching this right now, don't be surprised if in the future we start to see a little bit more of a curated box, maybe even potentially something for the kayak coming up one of these days, a little kayak survival type items in there. Kayak fishermen, you know that there's been some times on the water where there was some specific things that you needed, and maybe you had them, maybe you didn't, but if you're watching this now, of course you survived. But these boxes make things just a little bit easier for those troubling times on the water. So,
and we'd love your feedback too. We are trying to build a box, and we'd love everyone's feedback on what to put in a kayak kit.
Right,
how that would look. You can email us at info@angleraid.com or visit our website, angleraid.com. And just interact with us. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and have a good presence there. So just connect with us however you want to. Give us feedback on what you'd like to see in your box.
That's right, or right here while you're watching this video, right before you click out, in the comments below, if you're watching this, of course, on YouTube, write something in the comments that have actually really helped you on the water while you've been kayak fishing. So, Brian, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you.